If you can't trust your fellow man, then who can you trust? This is the question asked today when I look into Sony's past and give the fake reviews theory another try. So let's look into Sony's past and see how they created a whole fake reviewer. Some people might say, but Greg, you have no right to dig up the past. Well, you see, companies are like people that never paid attention in history class. They are meant to repeat it. Now, this CBS article titled Sony Pays for Reviews says that Sony has agreed to pay $326,000 for using fake reviews attributed to the Connecticut newspaper they created in promoting its films. Not only that, but Sony has agreed to stop fabricating reviews and stop using ads in which Sony employees pose as moviegoers, praising films that they have just seen. Not only that, but Sony was made to refund $5 for each person that was tricked into watching the movies, allowing people to get their money back and slimming Sony's wallet by $1.5 million. So who is this fake critic that was giving Sony the best reviews they have ever gotten for arguably some of the worst movies they have ever made? The persona of David Manning, named after one of Matthew Kramer's friends who at the time was director of creative advertising. Now, not only did they make David Manning, that totally doesn't sound like normal man, like they're lizard people trying to infiltrate us, but they also made a fake newspaper named after the local newspaper, the Richfield Press. Overall, Sony paid for this stunt with chump change, but let's be truthful, the real blow was to their credibility. But hey guys, that doesn't mean that Sony is trying to fabricate Helldivers 2 reviews to save the game's life, right? It's not like Sony is allegedly doing the same with their physical products like the 1000 XM5, whatever they want to call it. I mean, it's not like I want you all to look at these messages and think for yourselves. That would be too crazy, right? I got fed up with flimsy build and glitchy ANC on my Momentum 4 too, so I auditioned the Sony WH-1000XM5. I've bounced through a handful of closed back wireless cans and ended up liking the Sony WH-1000XM5 for rock and metal, bro. I ran into the same frustration with my Momentum 4s cracking up on me, so I picked up the Sony WH-1000XM5 and it's been night and day. Ah yes, the Sony WH-XM5. First of all, who talks like this? But hey, listen, I am not going to say that Sony are trying to use bots or people from other countries to try and sell us products on websites. What I am saying is that if that were true, I wouldn't be surprised, you know? I mean, guys, it happens so casually, you know, I'm talking about a product on the internet, and then somebody says, hey, have you tried the Sony WH-1000XM5? Now, another thing Sony has is the Sony Electronics Influencer and Endorsement Program, or the Sony Store Program, whatever they want to call it today, where people aren't paid per se, but they're being gifted free items, invites to events, and leveraging other Sony ambassador perks. So what I am trying to say is that a company like Sony that has made a fake reviewer and has an ambassador program in which I don't doubt there are content creators, would a company like Sony try and fake reviews for Helldivers 2? That's absurd, guys! Imagine if a company that lost a ton of money on Concord somehow got a cash cow that's now trying to keep desperately alive. Now, that would be crazy, right? Like a company like that, they wouldn't try to skewer reviews. I mean, just ignore all the short comments from the reviews, or the fact that they barely get 10 hours in. It's just you who's jaded, guys, and you should leave the game actually, and don't look at the stats of the game. It's surely not dying slowly, guys. Everything is okay, guys. But hey, to give all the people their due, the people that thought Sony was screwing with the reviews, I bet you guys are feeling so satisfied right now. I'm not saying Sony is doing, guys, it's all alleged, of course. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. But hey, if you guys don't mind, I am going to get up and head west. To the far, far west. Special thanks to the channel members: Jordan Ingram, Vinny Van Gogh, Smack, Estalorico, Cactus Man, Anata Shishek, Toxicity D-Days, PP4 Pugs, 501st Admiral Fez, Major Glazer, Titan, Doom Clash, Murk, The Octavian YouTube.